Hey everybody, it's Carmela here for our CEO Mindset Lunchtime Chat. I usually do this on Wednesdays at noon, so trying something a little different this week. Monday nights at 6:30, I'll be live interviewing another CEO that I've worked with in the past so that you can see some success stories. You can see that it doesn't take what you think that it takes for you to be successful in business. And sometimes you just need to see somebody else doing it to be inspired and motivated to just get started. I think one of the biggest issues we have as entrepreneurs is just getting started. One of the very first business programs that I was in, she had a mantra that stuck with me, and she said, "Don't let the start stop you." And a lot of us get stuck at the start. We don't know how to get started and get motivated and get going. We think we got to have all these things in place and all this stuff together. And really, you really just need to get started and start moving, and then you learn as you go. You grow as you go, right? And then there's business coaches like me that's here to help you get to the next level in your business. And so I enjoy watching you take your business from manifestation. From idea to manifestation. I truly enjoy watching that entire process, because it is a process. One of the biggest things you have to do when you're getting started is to give yourself permission to make mistakes, because you're going to make some mistakes. And the more successful you are, the more costly those mistakes are going to be, because even when you have what you call success in your business, there'll be some times that you'll make mistakes. But the key is successful entrepreneurs are skilled at seeing opportunities and seizing them. And so you're going to learn from those mistakes so you know how to move forward in the next opportunity. So you will see a pattern in my videos. I like to show you how you're losing money in your business. So that is definitely a pattern, because I like to talk about the numbers, and numbers don't lie. We can talk about theory, we can talk about all kinds of things, but your numbers are what matter in your business. And so today we're going to talk about how your relationship with money, it could be costing you money in your business. It's causing you to lose momentum. It's causing problems with your business when it comes to pricing and perception of value. All of those things matter when you are a CEO and when you're running your business. So if you know any other, hey there, hey y'all, say hey when you jump on. And if you know any other business owners that can use a little bit of encouragement, especially in the area of finances, you should tag them or just inbox them the video. Just send it to them. So let's get started. Number one, money must be neutralized. Number one, money must be neutralized. This is something that Sean Smith said in our training last week that really resonated with me. Money must be neutralized, meaning that money cannot lead your conversations. So remember, we're talking about your personal relationship with money and how your personal relationship with finances is causing you to lose money in your business. So number one, money has to be neutralized. Money can't lead the conversation. You can't have an unhealthy relationship with finances in your personal life and then expect that something magical is going to happen when you start a business. Because remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. So your relationship with money transcends into your business, and you have to neutralize the power of money in your business. Money cannot lead the conversation. You can't say, if I don't make this much money, I'm quitting. Money is a product. Money is a resource. Money is a tool. And in the hands of the right person, it can take you to another level. Does this make sense? I want you to understand this now. You can't be, let me give you this example and then I got another example I'm going to give you to help this make sense. If in your personal life, you live paycheck to paycheck, and I ain't talking about you got to live paycheck to paycheck. Hear me now. Some people live paycheck to paycheck just because of a thought process. So when they get lump sums of money, they immediately think about everything they need to pay. And they don't stop spending until the bank account is back to zero. Right? And so again, it doesn't mean that they have to live that way. It's just that it's their mind is programmed, if that money is there, to spend it. And so they'll keep spending until it's gone. Now, take that same mindset in business. When you have a product, we're going to just call it a widget, and say it takes you $10 to buy the resources necessary for you to create this widget that you're going to sell. And to make one widget, it costs you $10. And so you price it at $12. You sell it for $12. You spent $10, you sold it for $12. That didn't include your labor. That does not include money for you to keep in your business. And so what happens is now you sell this widget for $12 and you got to buy another one, because every time you sell a piece, you got to buy a piece, right? And so you take 10 of it's gone. Only thing you got left is $2. And then you keep the $2 for yourself. And guess what? Now your business is back to zero. There's no money in your business account. There's no money there for you to do anything creative with. There's no money there for you to invest in yourself. There's no money there for you to invest in any training or any coaching services, or to go to any workshops, retreats, or anything to help you grow, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And so since you feel like, excuse me, and since you feel like that you have to spend until that bank account is empty, you do the same thing in your business. And if you've noticed this pattern as I'm talking about it, it's okay, because you can shift that mindset, because your personal relationship with money will cause you to lose money in your business. If you're uncomfortable talking about money, remember, number one, money has to be neutralized. If you're uncomfortable talking about money, it'll cause you to lose money. When you are talking to your customers and your clients about your product and your service, you should be able to tell them your price. You should be able to tell them your price, so that when you do send them an invoice, or if you send them a quote, it's just a reminder of what you've already talked about. It should not be a surprise. Your price should not be a surprise. The first time your customer or your potential customer see your prices, it shouldn't be on that invoice. It shouldn't be in that quote. You got to be comfortable talking about your prices. Number one, money must be neutralized, right? You can't give money that kind of power, because it will affect you in your business. Okay. Let me go on and clean up that example I gave you about the widget that costs $10. Think about it this way. If it costs you $10, to buy the supplies necessary to sell that widget, and you up the price to include your labor so it can pay you and to pay your business. So maybe you sell that widget for $20. This is why you see custom products at a higher price, because you see custom products at a higher price because they got to keep the business going. So you sold the widget for $20. So $10 now goes into the supplies to replace the one that you sold, so that you can keep inventory. $5 goes to you because you paid yourself, and $5 stay in your business. So now every time you sell a widget, you make $5, the business make $5, and you replace the one that you sold. You see the difference in the mindset? So that your business is now growing, and there's now going to be money in your account in the future. Now, what happens? Number two, I'm going to tell you about a cake experiment that I watched on TV yesterday and how our brains work, right? The cake experiment on TV. And then we're going to talk some more about this $10 widget. The cake experiment on yesterday, they set up 2 booths outside. And they had these strangers to come up to the cake. And they said, we're getting ready to open a bakery. And we have these 2 cakes here. We would like to get your feedback on the cakes that we will be selling in our bakery. This cake on my right costs $15. The cake on my left costs $55. And so the people all started with the cake on my right, the $15 cake. And they had samples that they were giving out. The people talked about how the cake was dry, how the icing was missing stuff, how it just wasn't good. You know, it was just $15 cake. And one girl was like, oh, y'all don't buy me this for my birthday. You know, they talked about how terrible this $15 cake was. And then they moved to my left and began to sample the $55 cake. And they talked about how moist the cake was. How the icing was good. One lady even said, man, this must have some imported flour. You all use top-notch ingredients for this cake, and the icing is amazing. And listen, look how creamy it is. I mean, they went on, and they used their imagination. You hear me? Because when they talked about that $55 cake, they talked about like it took more time, that it had better ingredients, and the ingredients couldn't have been local, and how amazing this $55 cake was. You should have seen their faces when the people conducting the experiment said, after everything was over and they collected all the data, they went back to the people and they told them, you do know, both of these cakes were made out of the same bowl. They had the exact same ingredients in them, the same eggs, the same flours, the same everything. The only thing they did different was poured one into a square pan and poured one into a round pan. The icing was made, it was all used out of the exact same bowl. If that's the case, why did the $15 cake taste dry? Why did the $15 cake not taste as good as the $55 cake if they came out of the same bowl? I'll tell you why. Because of perceived value. Perceived value. Y'all know it's the truth. Drop that in the comments. Perceived value matters. If you are a CEO and you are selling a product and a service, the perceived value matters. You hear me? You got to get this. If you don't get anything else, the perceived value of your product matters. Listen. If it's a custom product, not talking about mass manufacturing where, it's in a factory and they mass produce them. So those type products can be cheaper. But if you're delivering a custom product, perceived, value matters. A cheap custom product gives the perception of less value. It gives the perception of a mediocre product. And you lose money because you're not even including your time in the pricing. Perceived value matters. When the price is a little bit, so let me go back to number one. We have to neutralize money, right? We have to neutralize money, because what happens if you don't neutralize money in your life, you will price products based on what you think people can afford. Gosh, this is good to me. I hope this is good to you. Because let me tell you something. People pay for what they value. People pay for what they value. Let me say this. I want you to take somebody that's on a fixed income, maybe struggling, maybe receiving some other assistance and everything. And I don't say this to be rude. I'm saying this just to prove, just so you can, I want you to think, to get a point. Could have $300 worth of hair in their head. Their nails are always done. Their feet always done. They take care of themselves. I'm all for self-care. But what I want you to understand is this. You can't look at somebody and look at their finances and look at their situation and then try to price a product based on what you think they can afford, because they will buy what they see value in. If you get this as an entrepreneur, it will change how you do business. People buy what they see value in. You can have an excellent product. You can have an awesome service. But if they perceive your product or service the same way they perceive the $15 cake, they will go over here to the other girl with less experience that's charging $55 for the exact same cake. Y'all was trained in the same place. It all came out the same bowl. And you wondering, why? I'm doing the same thing. Why my friends and my family going over here? Because of perceived value. Perceived value matters. You hear me? It really does. Number one, you have to neutralize the power of money. Money does not lead the conversation. Okay? Money is a tool and a resource. Number two, being cheap can backfire. Because of perceived value. You know, we talked about that. Perceived value. And number three is, this is a good one. I got this one from Bishop this morning in my devotional. Number three, wealth cannot produce wisdom. You might need to write this down. Wealth cannot produce wisdom, but wisdom can produce wealth. Oh, that's good. I need like a button where I can do some claps. Woo! Number three, you got to get this. You got to get this. You got to get this. Wealth cannot produce wisdom, but wisdom can produce wealth. You got to ask for wisdom in your business. You got to ask for wisdom in your prices. You got to ask for wisdom when you're connecting up with a new business partner. You got to have wisdom. You don't want everybody on your team. Wealth cannot produce wisdom, but wisdom can produce wealth. And so if you have the wisdom on your prices, listen at this. Listen at this. I gave y'all this example when I started doing these CEO chats 2 weeks ago. If you need to make $500 a month and you selling your product for $10, you got to sell a lot of them, right? If you got to make $500 a month and you sell that same product for $100, now you ain't got to sell but 5 of them. Wealth cannot produce wisdom, but wisdom can produce wealth. Sometimes you're trying to go after the masses. You don't need the masses. You just need a handful of people that want what it is that you are providing, okay? You just need a handful of people. Quit running behind everybody. Everybody don't want what it is that you have, and you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. We're in a challenge right now where we're going after no's, right? Well, we're going after no's. So if I reach out to you in your inbox, you ignore me. I'm not going to spam you, I promise. But so sometimes you got to go out and you got to talk to people. So if you got to have that $500 a month, right? You only need 5 people. Think about your friend list and think about the people that you're connected to. Out of all those people, you mean to tell me you can't help 5 people? Out of all those people that you're connected to, you mean to tell me that not 5 people want what it is that you are delivering? Out of all those people that's been seeing your stuff, you mean to tell me that you can't help 5 people get to the next level? And sometimes they're not seeing what you post. That's why you got to reach out to them. Hey, I just want to make sure that you know that I have this going on, and I think you would be a great fit. 5, you only needed 5 people to hit your $500 goal. That's what I want you to see. Sometimes we're shooting too broad, and it's okay. Our 3 things today. Number 1, money must be neutralized. Fix your relationship with money in your personal life, and it'll help you in your business. Number 2, being cheap can backfire. So make sure that perceived value is at the forefront of your mind when you're pricing your custom product and services. And number 3, wealth cannot produce wisdom, but wisdom can produce wealth. When you're seeking God for your business, ask him for wisdom. Ask him for the wisdom on how to do your pricing. Ask him for the wisdom on who to connect with. And though some of you have great products and services, but you're hiding inside of your VIP groups, quit hiding in those groups and get out so people can see you. Because if you only need 5, those 5 may not be in that secret group that you got. It may be somebody else. Let me give you this example, and I'm going to wrap this up today. I was talking with a young lady who has a great idea. One thing is a community project that she wants to do, and the community project will be free to the community. The second thing that she wants to do, she needs to charge, and she is a service that she's providing to children. And she said, but the people in my community can't afford the price, because she had a price. And she said, but the people in my community can't afford the price. So maybe I need to cut that price in half. And so I asked her a question. I said, why do you have to just serve the people in your community? Why can't you serve whoever needs the product or the service, and then the money from that now funds the community event or the community outreach that you have as a part of the second part of this vision. She's like, I never even thought about that. Listen at this. Not even 24 hours later, somebody texts me asking me for the exact same service that she had just told me she wanted to provide. And I knew this person don't live in our community, don't even live in our city. But I knew they could afford her prices without hesitation. I connected the two, the agreement was made, and now they're moving forward. This is what I want you to understand. Relationships with money matter, right? Because she came into agreement with God's plan for her business. She spoke it into the atmosphere. We came into agreement. Not even 24 hours later, her business is now launched. And she has her first paying customer. That's how you got to move forward and ask God for wisdom in your business. Okay? You may not know who your clients are, but the person that you're talking to may know somebody that needs your product or needs your service. So you got to open your mouth, speak it into the atmosphere, come into agreement with God about what it is that you are providing. Somebody needs it. Somebody drop that in the comments. Somebody needs what I have to offer. And that's not bragging. As believers, we struggle with that. It's like, oh, I just want to be humble. I don't want to tell them. You got to open your mouth. You sharing everybody else's business. Share yours. We need what it is that you have to offer. Listen, I still have appointments. I have 6 slots left in my Elite Women's Academy. I have 6 spots left in the Elite Women's Academy. You need a network of other successful women. We're not going to be competing because we all winning. Have you ever been in a room where you didn't have to try to dumb down? Have you ever been in a room where you didn't have to feel guilty about talking about your wins? I've been in a room, and I know y'all have been in a room where you started sharing your testimony of how God was blessing your business, and the people around you looking at you like you bragging. That's because you in the wrong circle. The Elite Women's Academy is a group of women, and we're all winning, and we expect you to have a testimony. You see the difference? This is why you have to neutralize your relationship with money, so that you can know that it's okay to invest in yourself. It's okay for you to invest in yourself. Listen, when I joined the John Maxwell team to become certified as a trainer, and it's an amazing training, it was $5,000. I didn't have an extra $5,000, but I knew that it was something that I needed to do. I put it on my vision board. I sought the Lord about it. And then at the appointed time, we sacrificed to make it happen. See, there was a time when I had to sacrifice. That was a major sacrifice in our lives. And so I remember my husband and I, when we went down to be certified, we had no extra money. Baby, let me tell you. It was a blessing that the food, the room, and everything was all inclusive because we didn't have any extra money. We were in a room full of other giants, other people who was doing what it was that I wanted to do. We were with people from all over the globe, people that had put their visas in months and months in advance to fly to America for the first time to attend this certification event. But see, this is what happened. We have a tendency to look at our money and our conditions and say, you know what? I can't afford that. That is just for them. That's why you have to neutralize your relationship with money and know that it's okay to bet on you. Know that it's okay to invest in you. Know that it's okay to invest in your business, because the investment that you're making is not for right now. The poverty mindset says we got to do what's best for right now. But the prosperity mindset says, you know what? We got to make this investment so that our business is not at the same place, that in the next 3 to 5 years, this investment is going to pay off. Have you ever been in that situation where the money was speaking for you? And if so, you're not alone. I've been there too. But let me tell you something. Investing in me was one of the best things I could have done, because it helped me to grow. It stretched me. It put me in touch with people from different cultures, from different backgrounds, from different countries that I was able to connect with, and it challenged me to grow. And I want to do the same thing with you. So in the Elite Women's Academy, we have to put together a way for your business to flow, right? These free trainings are amazing. They are. I'm going to give you all kind of tips all the time because somebody did it for me. Somebody gave me information and it was my responsibility to apply it. But let me tell you something. If you want to go further, faster, then you need to get laser focused and consider the Academy. If you need more information, just inbox me. I have some more time slots available this week. And let's do a 19-minute discovery call to see if the Academy is a good fit for you, or to see if you should be in my one-day masterclass. Just depends on where you are. And both of them are great. Both events will produce results in your life and in your business. So listen, I'll be back tomorrow at 12:15, same place, same time, with more juicy content to show you how to don't leave no money on the table. So today we're dealing with the mindset, right? That we have to have a healthy relationship with money. If not, it's causing us to lose money in our business. Y'all have a great day.